I'm also online as well.
Oh yeah, I can. It just worked. So go back. You see how this is turning on now?
Yeah.
Turning on. Ready?
Jared, it looks like Secretary So is also on.
Mr. Batoya, we're ready.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday, April 10th, 2025 work session meeting. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order to verify a quorum. Mr. Wells?
Not present, but accounted for.
President Haskell?
I'm here.
Vice President So?
I am present as well. Thank you.
Ms. Hospice? And myself, that's 5. We have a quorum. Time is 5:35. Item 2, comments from the audience. Ms. Ray, I believe the only one that you handed was the one that you gave to me when you were in here.
Yes, that is correct. I don't have any online.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
In order to recognize staff or community members from the audience who wish to speak to the board, we ask that you fill out this card and present it to the board president prior to the start of the meeting. Please limit your comments to more than 3 minutes. Select one person to speak from the group. The board requests your cooperation in resolving issues or concerns by asking you to follow a chain of command and consult with the appropriate school district personnel prior to discussing the issue with the board. Doing so will usually result in a more timely solution. Public comments and observations regarding non-agenda items that fall within the responsibility of the board may be heard at this time. Although board members may provide a short response, the board is not able to discuss matters not listed on the agenda. Comments regarding matters under litigation will not be allowed. We are interested in comments and concerns. Thank you. This one was submitted by Ms. Christina Askus. The subject on which she wishes to speak or video awareness and obvious gap minutes.
Hello. Hello, this is Christina Aspis. I come off the board, my board seat, and come to the podium for this public comment. I have asked before about putting a legal subject on the agenda, and it didn't get on this time again. So I believe for my constituents' sake, the community I represent,
Point of order.
and the stakeholders.
Point of order, Ms. Hospice. Ms. Haskell, may I ask in regards to the point of order? I'm assuming, Ms. Aspis, it's going to be a general comment and not specific.
And I've asked for the item pertaining to legal and questions. And as I was saying, the family and community meeting that was held, there was a question regarding legal fees. So to reach out to my district and my constituents, I feel that this is the alternative that I have. And I know that there's some questions you have, and lobbyists, and when lobbyists were hired supposedly by the board, and those questions are still, and I asked for it to be a item on the agenda and not executive. But I think if we look at our board legal, our board attorney's phone, we'll see texts going back and forth to the president. So I just want my constituents to know that. Thank you.
Since there are no further comments, we can move on to item 3, reports. A, 24/7 Tobacco-Free Schools by Sam Colombo. Mr. Colombo.
Hi there, I'm Sam Colombo with 24/7. Good evening to the board and the superintendent. I will pass it over to Billy to do most of the presentation, who's one of our youth advocates.
Okay. Good evening, board meetings, board president, and superintendent. My name is Billy Husky, and I am a junior from Newcomb High School, and this is my third year in the enrollment. Enrollment is a youth lead movement working to decreasing the harmful and addictive use of tobaccos. One of the campaigns we have working on since 2015 is the 24/7. The 24/7 campaign is helping New Mexico school district with having truly cooperation tobacco-free school policy. And I had that meeting with my principal 3 years in a row to talk about 24/7 and making sure they have resources they need to be tobacco-free. Wanting different events like the Hunter House at Newcomb to educate and build support from students and staff. Since joining involvement, I have learned to coming out my shell and build better communication, public speaking skill. I care about 24/7 because I just want everyone to be safe and having a normal day with their focus on learning and not nicotine addiction. Now, I wanted to talk about the district tobacco policy under comprehension policy. Tobacco use, possession, and district is not allowed by anyone, anywhere, at any time, 24/7 a day, 7 days a week. In November 2023, the New Mexico Publication Education Department approved a rules require that all public school district adoption and cooperation tobacco policy. This was largely because of students like me crossing the state pushing for this change. Central School is doing a good job to communicate the healthy students, staff, and wisdom. But need to renew discrimination by adopting its tobacco policy to be truly tobacco-free and meet the PID standard.
I'll talk for a little bit about what that means. And thank you to Assistant Superintendent Pete Deswood for inviting me and Billy to speak. I manage the 24/7 campaign statewide. And we've worked with the district before on updating policies, which has been great. I believe I've reviewed the current policies for staff and students regarding nicotine updated in 2023. And the policies seem to have been updated back to not meet the standards. So in 2023, JICD and JBED were updated again and are missing some of those comprehensive components that are required by NMAC 612.4. In order to have a comprehensive policy, I'll just highlight a few of the updates that we'd need to make again. The tobacco policies for students, staff, and school personnel must read that the use, distribution, and possession of all nicotine products is prohibited at all times. So the main thing to add in the current policy is at all times or 24/7. Additionally, the school policy must specify that schools will provide referrals and resources to help students and staff overcome addiction, as well as require progressive and supportive discipline measures for students. We have examples of what that means in the 24/7 toolkit, which I sent a copy over to the district after meeting with Assistant Superintendent last month, and I'm happy to send more copies or lead you to our virtual toolkits. But as a partner and resource to Central Schools, we're here to help every step of the way to make sure the policies are comprehensive. And if the district wants to set up any further meetings to discuss this, I'd love to help however I can. But I'll pass it back over to Billy to wrap up really quickly and talk about how we can support.
Okay, so the 24/7 campaign has a great way to support your school in the policy and making these updates. The new PRD's rules require district to supply the school with proper signs. We can provide tobacco-free signs, the 24/7 kit, and financing training resources to all school in your district at no cost. We offer a free presentation to middle school and elementary school class. And be having involvement with taking the time to learn about the 24/7 campaign. We hope that to continue helping Citrus School make the necessary change to the policy to be up the dates with the PRD newest rules and better protect the students, staff, and visitors.
And thank you for your time and listening to me and Billy talk about 24/7.
Thank you.
Ms. Colombo,
Hi, you can call me Sam.
did you have any, do you have a presentation or anything to show as for the board to look at and review?
What I do have is the toolkit, which I already sent a physical copy to the district office. That just goes over everything you need to update the policy, as well as all of the resources to enforce and implement it well. But I am happy to do like a physical analysis and give that to the district as well, if that is helpful, to just make it as easy as possible to update the policy.
Yeah, that would be nice, so that way we can have something to look at and read and possibly come up with some questions if we need.
Yeah, definitely. I know back in 2018, I'm unsure what happened because I wasn't the campaign manager back in 2018, but I know in 2018 the district did update the policies to be 100% comprehensive, which was great. So basically, it would just be going back to those. I'm not sure what happened that they were like updated back to not be comprehensive in 2023, but basically, I can just send you a copy of the policy that you had, which was already comprehensive.
All right, thank you. I'll open it up to the board. Does the board have any questions? Ms. Aspis.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Ms. Aspis.
No, this was this is Mr. Wells.
I believe Mr. Wells, she acknowledged first. Then you, after
Okay.
she's done, you can go ahead.
Go ahead.
My question is, are you up on the tribal laws as far as regarding tobacco?
Yes, so the PED rule has exceptions for ceremonial and sacred use of tobacco. So if that happens at school, specifically like ceremonial and sacred tobacco, that will not be an issue. Usually that gets approved by the school when there's ceremonies, but that's definitely not included. And we're focused on like commercial tobacco products.
Okay, it's been a while since policy has been read, and that was one thing that some of our school officials could mistaken for tobacco as like our mountain smoke, things like that are associated with ceremonial. So I was just wondering, if you were familiar as far as the reservation laws.
I'm not well versed on what the reservation laws are. I do know when we worked with the PED on the updates, we made sure that one of the exceptions, which I can highlight in an email if you'd like, basic 61249B states that it's not a violation for tobacco to be used as part of an indigenous practice or lawfully recognized religious, spiritual, or cultural ceremony. So if that happens within the district, that would be totally fine. We're focused absolutely on commercial products because sacred and ceremonial smoke and tobacco is not harmful, addictive the way that commercial tobacco.
Thank you.
Good, of course, good question. Thank you.
Mr. Wells?
I'm assuming that one of the reasons for this is that it's posing a greater risk than before. And are we talking about smokeless tobacco or smoked tobacco?
So we're talking about all commercial tobacco and nicotine products. This includes smokeless tobacco, vapes, any sort of way that nicotine is administered that is not, with the exception, of course, that we just talked about with ceremonial and sacred use, but any commercial tobacco product would be prohibited.
Commercial, I'm assuming you're talking about not medicinal, as in a patch to get somebody off nicotine?
Yeah, so that I think those would go through the school on a case-by-case basis, but schools can work with students as a part of their progressive discipline and support to make sure that they have things like patches or gums or whatever it is that they're using as a tool to quit. However, like if a student just has like gum on them because they want to get nicotine during school, that would not be allowed.
How pervasive is this?
Can you, I guess, be more specific?
How big a problem is it in the school district?
Every year, I believe we did surveys last year, which I can pull up the infographics for that and send them to the board. Every year, the students at Newcomb High School will collect surveys that talk about what people are seeing in regards to tobacco products at school. So I can pull up those infographics and email them to you. Would you put your email in the chat so I can make sure you get that?
I'll see if I can figure out how to do that.
Great, and if you can't, then maybe someone else can.
Superintendent, can you put your email address in the chat and then send it to all board members? Thank you.
I can do that. I can make it available for everyone.
Perfect. So after the meeting, I'm happy to send over the PED rule so you can take a closer look, get together our model policy to send, and the infographics from last year's surveys that were collected so you can have an idea of what we've been seeing at schools this past year.
That's all I have.
I have another question.
Thank you. And yes.
Ms. Auspis?
Superintendent Carlson, didn't we buy a detector for that, for one of the schools?
We have vape detectors in our high schools and middle schools.
And, just to answer, I guess if it's a problem or not, so I figured that's why you purchased that detector?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, so we have problems with tobacco, but also with THC usage as well. It's real easy for students to just kind of pull out a vape. They don't even need a lighter. They just can hit it up. And over the last few years, that's become an increasing problem in our district, is across the country too, of course. So some are tobacco, some are more than tobacco.
Yes, and definitely a comprehensive policy would prohibit not just nicotine, but as other mind-altering substances as well, which would include THC. So yeah, good point. It's definitely pretty easy for people to bring whatever in vape form to the school. Are there any other questions?
Any other questions from the board?
I have none.
Yeah, I think what's being discussed is covered under Board Policy J-3000, JJCJ, and it talks about use, possession, distribution of tobacco products, e-cigarettes and nicotine liquid containers, alcoholic beverages, mood-altering substances, and illegal drugs are prohibited pretty much anywhere on school grounds, and that's in the policy regarding students.
Yes, correct. So there are currently policies in place. The couple things that I highlighted, which I'm happy to send an email form as well, were making sure it mentions at all times or 24/7, because that's a loophole people could use. But that was one of the main things, as well as progressive supportive discipline. And those were two of the major things that the policy doesn't have, but it definitely has a lot of the key components already, so it shouldn't be too hard to make those updates.
Very good. If there's nothing else, we can move on to, thank you for the presentation. On to item
course.
B. KCHS Soccer Booster Club by Felicia Bolin.
Good afternoon or good evening to the board and superintendent. I wanted to thank Pete Deswood and Sharon Ray for helping us get on the agenda today. We're here to have our bylaws and our fundraising form approved by the board. I am not sure if you want me to read the bylaws to you. I did provide a copy to Mr. Deswood for the board to look at.
Do we have access to those documents so we can see those?
I provided them to Mr. Deswood, so I'm not sure if the board received them.
Board President, I sent them to Ms. Ray to upload.
Ms. Bolin?
Yes.
In respects to what you're requesting, it really needs to be detailed as far as what you're going to present. The bylaws should be listed on the agenda, and also the fundraising should be listed. Because if you look at our reports, item C talks about fundraising request, and it lists the individuals that are going to be presenting that information, and generally that information is presented to the board so we can look at it beforehand, so we can have questions ready. But in this case, we do not have anything that's provided to the board, and as well as the generalization of KCHS Soccer Booster Club by Felicia Bolin. Again, it doesn't explain exactly what it is that's going to be presented. So if it's not too much of an inconvenience, I'm going to ask the board president if we can just go ahead and, if you would be so inclined to represent the information with the documentation at the next board meeting.
Can you tell me when the next board meeting is? I did present these documents to the board to have presented, so I'm not sure what had happened at the.
I understand that, and I respect that, and obviously it's an error on the side of the administration not to post that. So, and again, with fairness to you, we need to see those things, and the public needs to see those things as well.
Okay.
So Tuesday is a regular board meeting.
Okay. If you could provide me the location and whatnot, I would be happy to come back and present.
All righty. I appreciate it, and I apologize for any inconvenience to you for your time.
That's okay. I understand. Sometimes things happen.
Superintendent?
Yes, sir. Sorry, it's hard to unmute myself right there.
Did you catch that?
Yes, I did.
All right, please make sure that that's on there with the necessary documents so we can do this and listen to the
You bet.
information and see what they have to present us, please. Thank you.
Awesome. Tuesday night.
At this time, Madam President, are you ready? C, fundraising requests. With the switch.
Is it my turn yet?
Hold on one second.
Okay, thank you.
You take mine. I won't say anything. I'll keep quiet. I'll take this one. Take this one.
Hey. Good evening, everyone. Oh, good. You can hear me. We will proceed on letter C. Is it letter C? C, fundraising request by Patrick Boone. A Newcomb High School boys basketball program co-ed volleyball tournament and food sale April 26, 2025 to Newcomb High School boys basketball program co-ed volleyball tournament and food sales on May 17, 2025. Is Mr. Boone available? Is he online? Please proceed.
Oh, young, young. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present my fundraising request to the board members, Central Consolidated School Administration and Superintendent and Assistant Superintendent. I'm the boys basketball coach at Newcomb High School. And some of the things that we're trying to do is have fundraisings for our boys basketball program to participate during the summer in summer camps across the state and also within the Four Corners area. And right now, we need some funds so we can pursue paying for our travels, like meals, hotels, and paying for fees, so we can have our students participate in a program that is very beneficial to them and to the school and to building a successful basketball program. That's why we wanted to do a fundraising activity. And this is my second year of being the head coach. And a lot of times, my previous coaching stints, we've been able to do a lot of fundraising and we paid a lot of things from the account. So I just want you guys to understand.
Let me use you.
Oh, yeah, you're just fine. I gotta grab this piece of paper. Poor guy.
Mr. Wells, I think it's Mr. Wells. Mr. Wells, can you mute yourself?
Oh, so I just wanted to ask the board and to approve our fundraising activities. And if you guys want to come over and be part of the program, put your team in. Hotel, yeah. Any questions?
Are there any questions from the board? Questions or comments? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on, I'm just looking at the documents, it shows that we have to install. Would this like request that
Oh, wow, yeah, it's 250. Are they going out of state?
that was just a.
Is it on? Even though you have really loud voice, it's out of state. It's out of state fundraiser.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, it's checked as out of state fundraiser. Or out of school fundraiser. Mr. Boone,
Yeah, it's out of school.
are you, where's your fundraiser gonna be?
At Nuclear School. Oh, so it's been in the school.
Oh, okay. Yes, it would be, Go
I
ahead.
can change that.
Okay,
So it's not during the school year or after
No.
school hours?
Saturday.
Okay. And I wasn't aware that fundraisings went by size or so I believe they have to come before the board.
Yeah, all the fundraising that we've been doing was approved by the board, so that's why we had to do all the paperwork. And then it gets reviewed by my athletic director and our principal. Then I believe it goes to Mr. Deswood, so. But that was my mistake on marking that. It's a in-school fundraiser.
okay, yeah, I think it would constitute as in-school fundraiser since it's gonna be at the school on a weekend.
Board President, this is Mr. Deswood.
Yes,
So the fundraiser is for, Mr. Boone, the teams that are going to be joining the tournament are from the community and the surrounding areas, correct?
All over, I think.
So that's why it's considered an out-of-school fundraiser, because the funds are coming from the surrounding community. So per board policy, any out-of-school fundraisers are approved by the board.
okay.
Oh.
So it's a community event.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
community event.
Are there any other questions or comments?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, I don't have any questions. I think our community is pretty supportive of basketball. So I think it's a good thing, Mr. Boone. Njonen?
I do have a comment.
Go ahead.
Or a question. Superintendent Carlson, do we, or who's in charge of the facilities?
Right now, that's Rodney Armenta.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is, I know that, before it's been said that if the facility is being used for free, I think there's gonna be some questions about food sales, the extra money revenue that's gonna be brought in. I don't know. You might go over that and make sure that we're in good standing.
Is it okay if I have Mr. Deswood? He's got his hand raised there. Chime in.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Mr.
thank you,
Desmond.
Board President, Ms. Aspas, thank you for the question. So these out-of-school fundraisers, this is the process that they typically go through. If it's a organization within the school, meaning an athletic team or a booster, not a booster, or a club, they do not have to pay the fees to use the facilities. So this is one that we typically send to the board for approval. We also, as far as cash handling and stuff like that, they still have to follow the board policies and the finance policies set forth in the board policies. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Mr. Deswood, does this include having security?
Yes, they can request for security to be present there. A lot of times the principal and athletic director will also inquire with Navajo Nation PD to be present. So I think David and Devin are on as well, so they can probably answer a little bit more specifically. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Boone.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'll go on that.
I'll go in there. Letter D, recommendations regarding House Bill 171, House Bill 171 by Roxanne Lee and Stacy Bowden.
Hello, good evening, everybody. She'ayal Roxanne Lee and She, Hashdishni and Shlo, my Dishkijni Bashishchin, Tachini Dashache, but Ahidashanole, and I'm the instructional coordinator for secondary schools. And just a quick synopsis of the original House Bill 171. This amends current law to update New Mexico high school graduation requirements. The bill maintains the current requirement of 24 units to earn a high school diploma and increases unit requirements in core academic subject areas. And it requires the development of graduation profiles, requires school district and charter schools to set 2 of the required units of graduation, and allows additional courses in career technical education and work-based learning to count toward core academic requirements. This bill does go into effect for high school seniors beginning 9th grade in school year 25-26. And we'd like to recommend 2 of the local requirements. And we have our middle school and high school principals of Central Consolidated School District who acknowledge and support the intent of House Bill 171 to strengthen high school graduation requirements and prepare students for future success. As such, we want to further enhance student preparedness and ensure a well-rounded education. Therefore, we are recommending the following regarding 2 local discretion units. The first one is financial literacy. We strongly recommend that one of the 2 locally determined units be dedicated to financial literacy. And this is crucial for equipping students with essential skills for managing personal finance, understanding credit, and making informed financial decisions. Additionally, we're looking at a menu of options. For the second local determined unit, we recommend that district and charter provide students with a menu of options, and this will allow students to pursue coursework aligned with their individual interests, career goals that promote deeper engagement and personalized learning. We do have a chart on that memo that does show what those menu of options can entail. But both the principals and the counselors of CCSD, we recommended this House Bill 171 will better serve the diverse needs of our students and empower them to thrive in their post-secondary endeavors. We believe that financial literacy and choice-based elective will significantly contribute to a more comprehensive and relevant high school experience. And at this time, if you'd like to look at that chart there, and the courses required to graduate, English 4 credits, math 4 credits, social studies 4 credits, science 3 credits, PE 1 credit, health 0.5 credits, and electives 5.5 credits, plus the 2 credits for the following recommendation: 1 credit in financial literacy and 1 in the menu of options. I myself, along with our Shiprock High School principal, Ms. Stacy Gallagher, along with the other secondary principals, stand for any questions.
Board members, any questions or comments?
Comment.
Go ahead.
Looking at the lists of options, first one, foreign language, Navajo and Spanish. Why do they list those as foreign? Especially if you're if that's your first language. It's English that's a foreign language. And I certainly
with the state of New Mexico, it is noted as a foreign language. So it would be foreign for non-native speakers. So it is under language area, but it is under foreign language.
wasn't necessarily a question, but just a comment in respects to the fact that a lot of native speakers, that's their first language, and English is their
Yeah.
second language.
I agree.
So I even have a story of a gentleman who went to school in Utah. In order to graduate, he had to have a foreign language. And so he was called into the guidance counselor in the principal's office and asking if he took a foreign language. He said yes. He said it didn't show it on his transcript. He said, I did take one. He goes, which one? He said, English. He said, well, what is your native tongue? He goes, Navajo. So he had to prove it, and he did. So that's why I say what I say, and the lack of the PED to acknowledge first language, to me, is a slap into the face of the native speakers. I understand their point, but, and again, to me, that does a disservice to those who speak first their native language. So that's all I'm saying is commenting. I'm not questioning anything. So it's just a comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Board President, this is Mr. Desert. Can I add a comment?
Go ahead.
Board President, that is under there because whenever our students do go to post-secondary institutions, that prevents them from taking a foreign language whenever they go to college. So that's how it fills that requirement. So that's why it's under there, so that students can, when they go to college, one of the admission requirements is for them to have a foreign language. So then they can take their native language, Navajo, Pueblo, or Sioux, and then that will suffice for that. Thank you.
Go ahead. Comment. With all of that said, I'm looking, and if you Google the House Bill 171, there's specific requirements, and in that whole list there, it gives English, social studies, science, mathematics, physical ed, health, and then under career or workplace readiness or language, and it says other than English. So somewhere we have a one is saying that it's already included, and instead of letting Board Member Montoya finish, and this list, it says that other than language, so they're not, it sounds they're not counting English as a foreign language. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lee and Gallagher. We will move on to item E. Discussion on safety plans, handicap accessibility plans, and number of graduates and non-graduates by, and it's blank. I don't see who it's by. Ms. Ray?
Good evening, members of the board. This is Safety Coordinator Devin Verholst. Thank you for having me, and appreciate your guys' time to discuss some of the graduation plans that we have for the safety needs. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue. So you're the presenter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Ray, can you put that on our, for documentation's sake, letter E, put Mr. Verhost as the presenter?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. You can continue, please.
Yes, so for this year, we have graduation is going to be starting on May 21st, and the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, those are going to be nighttime graduations. We are going to be working with operations and making sure that we do have extra lighting provided in the parking lots while this is going on. We have been making arrangements to make sure that we have plenty of lead safety advisors on site prior to graduation, along with for the Kirtland school site, we have put in for overtime request with the San Juan County Sheriff's Office so that we will have plenty of representation of law enforcement from the San Juan County Sheriff's Office at the entrances, gates, and inside of the graduation area. We will do this also working with Navajo Police Department for the graduations in Newcomb and the Shiprock High School graduation. That's going to be on the 24th. That's going to be in the morning at 10 a.m. We are going to make sure that we have our lead safety advisors' vehicles and the side-by-sides on site like we did the previous year, making sure that we can offer rides to anybody with any type of disabilities or that has a hard time walking or whatever. We'll make sure that we can get them to their designated area and be picking them up in the parking lots and then bringing them to the front entrance of where the graduation is going to be. We will also be working on the site maps when it comes down to once we know if there are any other VIP members that are going to be coming or any of their other security teams that's going to be coming with those members, we'll work closely with those teams and do site visits with them and iron out exactly where they will be parking and making sure that the facility or doors or areas or rooms that they're going to be at prior to the graduations, we'll make sure that is going to be taken care of as well. So we're excited about graduation. We're excited about everybody coming out and all the community members being there. We'll make sure that all of our safety advisors, our contract security, and all of that's going to be at each of these events. That everything will go off without a hitch. So we'll also be working with operations department too in reference to making sure that we have an area designated and cleared off for any of the handicap special needs for each site on that as well. And with that, I stand for any questions in reference to graduation safety plans.
Are there any questions or comments?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I think the main thing is it was in response to what happened at Newcomb, that the attack happened on the principal and also a graduation attendee. So I think just to avoid from any attacks happening to anybody, that the high visible presence of security and be around. And then as far as Kirtland, I think the big thing there is the handicap accessibility and of getting people, and also those that are accompanying that person to be seated in the area, because they you can't put them there alone. And so I think that's been a big deal. And then also in Shiprock, I know that some of the handicap are brought down into the gym floor, so that they cleared the aisles where the graduates walk. So I think those areas are handled pretty well. But yeah, and then usually after, when everybody disperses from the stage, you look around and you don't see anybody again. So we need to stay there and be present and be visible as far as security. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? I agree. I think one of the big issues was also the number of spaces for the handicap and the elderly. I think we need to have enough space set aside for, I think in the past there was people were crowded into that area. So just to have the more accessibility in those areas. But thank you.
What were the dates again?
Can you give the dates for the graduations again, please?
21st, 22nd, 23rd? Oh, 24th.
Yes, I can. Thank you. So May 21st is going to be career prep graduation at 7 p.m. May 22nd is going to be Newcomb High School graduation, again at 7 p.m. May 23rd is Kirtland High School graduation at 7 p.m. And then May 24th will be Shiprock High School graduation at 10 a.m. Thank you for your comments. I've taken good notes on this, and we'll make sure that we address each one of your guys' needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will move on to number 4A, items for the April 15, 2025 regular school board session meeting.
I have nothing.
I have a,
Go ahead.
so I'd like some feedback on that light. And then also the legal and lobbyists. And I would like, I will try to get Mr. Gary Mike to attend the regular meeting, but would like the board's approval and support for Ashland Mike Memorial Run, which is to be on May 3rd. I'm thinking it's on the 2nd, but it's just before Shiprock Marathon. But he would like CCSD to give some type of support, whether it's volunteer or just ads or letting people, the students know, and to be a part of that memorial run or walk. Thank you.
Is the memorial walk might be on Friday or on Saturday?
I think usually they hold the kids event on Friday, but I have dates recorded as the 3rd and the 4th, but normally the Shiprock Marathon, half marathons on the Saturday. So I'm thinking it's on a Friday, but I'll confirm and bring that on the regular school board meeting.
Okay. If you could provide a flyer, if he has a flyer, we can
Yeah.
share that too. Thank you. Do you have anything?
Just real quick, probably like a quick snapshot of graduation, like how many graduates are going to be graduating for all the schools, preparations, and that sort of stuff. I think it's been pretty typical.
Okay.
And probably the last one is I'd like to, I'm sure the high schools receive reports, someone in the district probably receives it, but it's information regarding how our students are performing on the ACT and SAT test scores. And I believe we've had a round of testing on like October, December, and February. So those companies have sent test scores and reports back to the district. It wouldn't hurt to see what those look like.
Okay, thank you.
And that's like another area of how our district can keep on top of these things, outcomes, improve accountability. Thank you.
Thank you. And to include, to make sure, I guess we want to make sure that our seniors know right now if they're graduating or not graduating. We don't want to wait until the last moment. So if, Superintendent, if we could convey that to make sure that our students are aware of where they're standing. I know that there was an incident previously in Farmington because of something, the information wasn't conveyed to the student until the day before, I believe. So to stay on top of things, if we could get the assurances from our principals that our kids are well aware of their standing, that would be also something that I would like to hear. Thank you.
You bet.
Are there any other?
Just to make sure that the Kirtland Central High School has theirs on the agenda so they can do their report.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really clear about what they were asking. I think the documents finally got uploaded, but what I saw is that it's articles of incorporation or something that says that they're incorporated, but beyond that, I'm really not, it's not very clear about what they're asking.
Okay. All right.
Are they asking us to acknowledge their incorporation?
Okay. If we could get,
The KCHS Booster Club.
if we could get clarity, Superintendent, that would be also good. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Number 5, a motion. Oh, Mr. Wells, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
Do you have anything to include on the board meeting for Tuesday?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. I apologize for skipping over you.
You didn't.
Okay.
I've been listening attentively, and had I had anything to answer or to contribute, I would have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wells. Number 5, adjournment, a motion to adjourn the work session.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, motion by Mr. Montoya. Do you second, Mr. Wells?
Who are you asking for which?
Are you seconding the motion?
I will second it or propose, either one.
Thank you. Second
Whichever
by,
you need.
okay, second by Vice President Wells. Roll call vote, Mr. Montoya?
Yes.
Ms. Aspis? Mr. So?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And we adjourn at 6:31.